Today's a big day. It's not opening season of spring turkey. It is a wet and miserable day that I get to plant 11 acres of pasture ground roughly. That's been tilled for probably over 100 years now. It's never gonna be tilled again. It's going into pasture today. So I'm real excited. Something I didn't film was I got the seeder yesterday. That was a 5-hour trip there and back. Renting ag equipment nowadays, it's really hard to find places local that have that kind of stuff. Like when I rented a post pounder for the pasture, the like permanent fencing that I have done already, when I was renting the post pounder for that, it was impossible to find a place to rent a post pounder. A lot of ag equipment, people either have it or they only need it like once in their lifetime. So not a lot of these rental places carry it. You know, skid steers, mini excavators and stuff, that's where those places make their money. Not necessarily on like, you know, specialty agricultural equipment. A lot of soil and water districts have those land pride no-till units, but you need a different class of tractor for that than what I have. With this little L3560, yeah, I weigh like 4,200 pounds. You know, I have a little bit of weight to me because I have the tires filled and stuff, and it's like a pretty big size tractor for a 35 horse tractor. But I would have a heck of a time pulling an implement of that class. I don't think I would be able to, and it would be a huge waste of time and effort if I were to rent something like that and then it doesn't work on my tractor. So we ended up renting a Land Pride all-purpose seeder, the 6-foot variant, which is a perfect piece of equipment for my tractor. I like the Land Pride unit, especially for this application, would probably be where it's ideal, where it's a prior tillable field. I'm not going to till it before there's been no prep whatsoever onto this field. I was looking to buy a seeder this spring, and if I was going to buy one myself, I would probably buy the Woods food plot seeder, just because it's a little bit more versatile. You have it's basically the same thing, except you have discs on the front. It's considered a minimum till drill, not really a no-till drill, but also not, you're not like, you can only get so much work out of those discs in the front. But I like that because of the versatility of it. But this implement in this application is a really good, I think a really good use for it. You know, this is a really good application for it. So, and honestly, getting it and looking at it and kind of playing with it, it's already kind of confirmed my suspicions about it, of why I liked that Woods implement over this implement from like a spec sheet perspective. Just like handling it, seeing how like the cooliers are, whatever they're called, and the spikes and everything. I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't think this would be something that I would want to buy in the future, but it's sure nice to be able to rent it. For the sprayer, I just got this at Tractor Supply. I was gonna buy one on Facebook Marketplace, but I couldn't really find anything for less than 500 bucks. This was 500 bucks new, and it's a 25-gallon sprayer with like, I think it's about 8 feet wide, maybe a little bit wider than that, but with the sprayers and everything. At 40 PSI, which is what we're rocking with this unit, we're gonna have to go 10 miles an hour to do the field, which is fine by me because the side-by-side goes to that field no problem at that speed. And obviously the faster you go, the quicker it'll get done. Basically looking at their charts for everything, we only have 66 gallons of fertilizer, and so looking at their conversion charts and stuff, we only have 66 gallons of fertilizer and biologics sort of mixed together. We're going to put that on immediately before we plant, especially in these like wet conditions. That the rain will help it get into the soil. It probably won't dilute it too much, and then we're going to immediately put the seed on. So I'm not really worried about the rain for that. I mean, I'm worried about kind of tearing it up a little bit. But like I said, the tractor's kind of in a good class of tractor where it's heavy enough to do stuff like this, but it's not terribly heavy that it hopefully won't tear it up too much. And then same thing with the side-by-side. I'm gonna be going so fast that I hope not to tear anything up, but we'll see. Another thing I didn't film actually is I planted some American sycamore trees in the field and kind of around the property. I had 25 of them. I think about 14 to 15 or so are in the field. So I'll have to avoid those while planting. They're just whips too. I made sure to stake them just so I could see them. I'm probably gonna unstake them in about a month. I just wanna get them like semi-established. You don't really need to stake whips, but when I'm doing stuff like this, especially like driving the side-by-side around 10 miles an hour and stuff, I wanna make sure that I can visibly see them very well and stuff like that. But after about a month, we're probably gonna unstake that. But yeah, so for now we're gonna get the sprayer going. We're gonna go 10 miles an hour through the field, and then after that we're gonna jump on the tractor and start seeding and see how it goes. All right, so we made it to the bottom corner of the field. We're gonna start spraying. I like this unit a lot, but I've been playing with it with water and stuff just to kind of get a feel for it. It works really good. The only problem is that I can't turn it on and off from where I'm sitting. I have to go back there and do it. And then the only thing I can see is that, what can I do? There we go. That arm right there is the only thing I can see. So that's really the only way I know it's working, not working and stuff. And with the sound of the side-by-side, it kind of makes it so kind of hard, with the noise of the side-by-side rather, it kind of makes it hard to know, like, okay, is it out, is it not out, or whatever. So I'm gonna have to really pay attention like as time goes on to make sure that I'm not running it dry or anything like that. But yeah, we're gonna go, I have it in 4-wheel drive and I have it in high. We're gonna take it 10 miles an hour, probably in a circle around the field. So I'm gonna start here, I'm gonna go down and around and then over on that dirt line and then down here. I'll probably do that twice, and then I'm gonna start going this way is what I think I'm gonna do. Obviously I kind of have to play it by ear to see how the tires react to the ground being kind of wet. I might have to do it differently. It might be easier to go the other way on the passes, just the way the field holds water and stuff, but we'll see. I'm not too worried about this step. Obviously, where you need the most even coverage is when we're seeding. So I'm just gonna try my best. We're gonna get kind of warmed up. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna turn on the sprayer and jump in the driver's seat and gun it, basically. Get to 10 miles an hour. So here we go. There it goes. Clean out some water that I had in it previously, which is perfect. Kind of give us a second. And here we are. The problem, it doesn't look like it's actually going. So we'll see. That was wet. I mean, it's not really spraying though. That wasn't spraying good, so we'll see what's going on with that. Now I'm wondering if there's chunks of the biologic, because there was chunks of biologic stuff like in the buckets that it came in. I'm wondering if it clogged up the pump, which would suck because there'd be no way to do that without dumping a bunch of it. So I don't know what to do here. Okay, so it's definitely clogged because it's getting worse and worse and worse. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unhook it here, and then I'm gonna fiddle it with a stick, and then put it back on as quickly as I can, sort of thing, and see what happens. Turn it on. That's a good sign. There's stuff right here. there's a screen in this one. So that's what the problem was. There was a screen in this one. So all we have to do is turn it off, clean out the screen, and then put it back on. So we didn't have to do that. We didn't have to fiddle with it because the screen will catch it. All right, so we're ready to go again. I'm not gonna show all this, but you kind of get the idea when I went around that first time. I'm gonna lose speed every now and again because I'm going through the mud. I'm not intentionally slowing down to 5-6 miles an hour. It just, when I go through the mud, it just stops me, which is pretty annoying, but it is what it is. I'm gonna try to maintain as close to 10 miles an hour as possible and get through this field. When I get more to the middle of the field, it should get a lot better, but the outside, like the first 2 passes are probably gonna be, like around the outside, are gonna be pretty wet. So we'll see how that goes. But, all right. Yeah, we're already losing power again. So let's see if we can do it real fast this time. All right, let's see if that fixed it. Yeah. So this thing's real sensitive. I mean, it is what it is. It's just, that's kind of annoying. This is gonna be a mess here. Let's go real fast. I'm kind of good at cutting this. All right, this is where we started. So we're gonna go around a little wider this time. Already not making juice. All right, so I figured out the best way to unclog it is to just turn off the valve, unscrew it, clean that filter, and then open the valve for a split second to shoot out whatever else is in there, and then keep going. So hopefully I can use that knowledge to, you know, to keep it, you know, because we already had to do it 3 times in 1 pass, so. All right, little update on the sprayer. I've had to stop and unclog it 19 times. I've kept track, and I'm not very far, so that's discouraging. But I'm through the first 25 gallons. Like I said, we have 66 gallons to spray. I'm gonna strain the next 25 gallons to make sure that I don't have the same problem again. It's basically what's happening is the biologic that is mixed in with the fertilizer has like an algae type material to it, and it's clogging up that little filter inside the pump. And I just didn't think about it when I was dumping it in, because it was a pain to dump it in, because I have to like hold it up with the tractor and then, you know, kind of funnel it in. I'll try to film it, but it's not easy. So I didn't think to filter it, but I'm just gonna get a strainer from the kitchen, and we're gonna strain it, and we're gonna fill this thing back up, and we're gonna keep her going. But it's going good so far. I'll give you, it's rutting up a little bit, but it's wet today, so it's kind of to be expected. It is what it is. And yeah, I'll show you how we have not made it very far at all. But this is the wide part of the field, so we're probably a fifth, you know, 20% done, maybe a little less. But so we're that far off, and then we've gone all the way down to that, basically that building over there and over, and we still have that much to go. Yeah, these lines are probably. That's about the worst of the ruts right there. So not too bad. I mean, there's some that are like that one, you know, like this one here is pretty bad, and this one here is pretty bad. I think for this section though, I might run the tractor this way. I don't know, we'll see. It just depends. I mean, like I said, this was when I could this is when I could rent the seeder. It's not ideal to seed in these conditions, obviously, but you know, I don't have $10,000 for a seeder, so there's that. So it is what it is. We're gonna make the most of it and plant as good and as effectively as we can. I actually left the camera on while I was in the thing here, but it's just setup. So we're gonna fill it up real quick. So I added this strainer that wasn't there before. I have this little attachment to an old vacuum. I'm gonna hold it like this and shoot it into there. Very high tech. And then every now and again I got to go back on the tractor to lift the hydraulics up because it'll start falling a little bit. But yeah, that's what we're doing. So here, I'll shoot like a second of it just to... Well, it'll show it a little bit, I guess. Here we go. See, that's what we're having problems with, is that like algae type stuff in the biologic. It's not from the fertilizer, it's from the biologic that we're putting on. And that's clogging up that filter. So we're catching it, which is good. So that's all the crap that we caught with the strainer. So I'm pretty happy with that. Hopefully that will solve that problem. But we're gonna get back at it. All right, update. I got the field sprayed. It's supposed to take me about 45 minutes. Guess how many times I had to clean that filter, like inside that pump hose? Just guess. Just let's wait a second. Think about a number on a little 11-acre field. How many times I had to stop and clean that filter and then keep going? Are you ready for the number? You ready? You guessed? 53 times. I had to stop 53 times to do that. I thought about deleting the filter on it, like just either drilling a hole in it or something like that. Because even after we were straining the fluid into the container there, it was still getting clogged up with like little bits of it. But then I was thinking, what if it gets down to the nozzle ends and kind of does like ruins the whole thing kind of thing. So I kept it there, but that was just awful. It was terrible. It took me about 5 hours to do that whole field, a little bit under that, including obviously filling it up and stuff like that. I'm freezing. Yeah, that was terrible. It was not fun. This is how all this stuff goes for me. It's never the nice day and the perfect weather conditions, and you know, you just get to have fun day on the tractor and stuff. No, it always ends up being something like this. It just sucks. Tomorrow is going to be terrible too, so there's no waiting for tomorrow to do it. Tomorrow's Sunday. I have it till Monday. It'll take a week for this like field to dry up, you know, kind of thing. Because if let's say I waited till Wednesday, would be a good example. The mud will just cake to my tires, versus now with it being so wet, I'm still making ruts and stuff, but it's not caking into my tires. I'm not getting stuck. So it sucks, but it's also kind of okay. Next weekend is Mother's Day weekend, so I didn't want to do it then. And then last year we had then the week after that is the Ohio Valley Dexter show. Going to that. So then there's that. And then now you're getting towards the end of May. Last year we had a severe drought in June. Well, not a severe drought. I shouldn't say that. But it rained once in the entire month of June. So I want to get it in as soon as possible. I called the place to rent it 3 weeks ago, the cedar, and this was the earliest available they had, and I just had to take it. I mean, it's not ideal. It sucks. It's all wet and gross and everything, but it just is what it is. I'm not going to be able to film the seeding the way I wanted to. I'll probably just take you around a little bit, as I'm doing it and stuff, and we'll kind of see what it looks like from behind. Basically, I went parallel with the road with the sprayer, and I'm going to go perpendicular with the road with the seeder to kind of try to take out some of those ruts and stuff. You can adjust here. Let's go look at it actually really quick. You can adjust the severity at which like these collars go into the ground. And right now it's set back pretty, not super far, but like more to a more severe setting. So I'm probably gonna move it back. I'm probably gonna, well, actually that isn't bad. We'll probably do it about where it's at right now. That way, because it's already gonna tear up the ground a lot, but that way it's not giving too much resistance to the tractor, and I don't get the tractor stuck, because obviously that would be not conducive to what we're trying to do. But that's where we're at right now, and that's sort of how it's going. It's raining, it's gonna keep raining, it's gonna keep raining tomorrow. It is what it is. We got the fertilizer down, we're gonna get the seed down, and we're gonna just rock and roll with it. So yeah, all right, bye. All right, so we put 50 pounds of seed in the seeder, and we're gonna go through that on the field and see how it does. You're supposed to calibrate it, you're supposed to set what it's supposed to be calibrated at based off the chart, and then double check it by lifting it in the air and rotating it a set amount of times and then weighing it. I don't have a scale for that. And honestly, with all the rain and stuff, you're gonna have so much water like in that that smaller number that is probably gonna kind of mess that up a little bit. So we're just gonna run it, and then if we kind of waste that 50-pound bag, I guess it is what it is. But we're gonna run it until we run out of seed, see how that goes, and then actually fill it up and adjust it from there to see how it goes. So let's see how it goes. It's leaking out of this, and I got to get this wheel over because it's right there on that one, but it's not on this one. So I got to figure out how to get it on there before all of the seed drops on the ground. I got to put the camera down. Well, we just kind of wasted some seed on the ground. I'm gonna try to put as much back in there as I can, but that's gonna make it even harder to judge what our seeding rate is. Not that the way I'm doing it is gonna be horribly accurate anyway, but that makes it even worse. So I don't know, we'll see. It just, nothing is going right. Just, it is what it is. All right, so I was seeding, and I was gonna shoot a video of me seeding, but I wanted to get going to kind of get a feel for it. And the back roller, this is what drives everything, is this back roller seized up. So I stopped and got off and saw what it was, and this gear has completely sheared off of that, that's the main gear that operates this whole thing, that spins everything, that drops the seed and everything. So we're completely done. And it sucks because that chemical that I just spent all day putting out, you want to do it like right before you seed or right after you seed. There's no way this is going to get fixed anytime soon. So we kind of failed today. I mean, it just wasn't a good day. I mean, everything went wrong. Literally everything that could go wrong went wrong. The sprayer didn't work good. The seeder, I probably wasted a bunch of pounds of seed with that little problem over there. And then when I was going, there was like a dirt clump. There's like a dirt clump in this tray that I didn't see, but that's what the seed falls down. It was over there. So it basically was like blocking that seed from falling down. So I finally figured that out. But yeah, just didn't work out. I really don't like this seeder, even if it was functioning good. These spikes in the front, if a rock gets in them, like in the mud, they'll stop, and then they just start digging a hole, digging a rut with the spikes instead of, turning. So you have to stop to get, I'm talking pebbles will stop that whole thing. Same thing with the other side. I think it was doing a good job until then, but I only got probably 2 acres done. I was gonna start filming about halfway. Just, yeah, so bad day. Didn't work out the way we wanted it to. I'll probably still post this video and then hopefully like post an update once I figure out what the heck I'm gonna do from this. But we'll see. All right, bye.